A new round of back and forth over the state's plan to step in at Memphis-Shelby County Schools. One of the bill's sponsors pushed back on claims today about what that oversight could mean for teachers and local control. ABC 24's Lauren Turman joins us to compare what all these leaders have told us and how they are framing this plan. Lauren.
Though Governor Bill Lee has not yet signed this bill, Pepper, tonight the fight over what actually it does for the school board members, teachers, and students is heating up once again. So we're stacking up what all of these leaders have said about how this may bring changes to your family. A state takeover of Memphis-Shelby County Schools is now one step away, but there's a new fight over what power that oversight board would really have.
The bullet points were created for MSCS. So of course it fit. It was made to fit by our lawmakers.
This week we've talked to Senator Brent Taylor, Representative Mark White, Shelby County Mayor Lee Harris, school board members Tamarcus Porter and Sable Ote, and former principal Marty Pettigrew, who all have ideas about how this 9-member oversight board will look. So let's break down some of those statements. Thursday, in a social media post, Senator Brent Taylor pushing back on claims that teachers will be fired once the board is in place. He points to language in the bill that says members can't terminate employees in a way that violates their contracts, and they must follow due process. But the same law also allows the board to act on behalf of the district to terminate employees, with or without cause, if those contract terms allow it. He also defended the bill and opposed school board member Stephanie Love, who called it racist against a majority black large school district.
The racist point of view is to maintain the status quo, which is what Stephanie Love and Mayor Harris, they want to do. They want to maintain the status quo. The best way out of sometimes the situation they find themselves in, the best way to get out of that is with education.
But Shelby County Mayor Lee Harris says the legislation could do much more.
State officials will be in charge. They'll be appointed and be in charge of MSCS's contracts, in charge of their buildings. That means it's highly unlikely that they'll renew the union contracts that we have and we observe.
Representative Mark White argues this is all about accountability, not control, even pointing to what he calls necessary school consolidations as a possible outcome.
I've heard even from school board members now that could be up to as many as 40.
Some educators, though, tell us control is exactly the issue. They argue a state-appointed board would override local voters and take power away from Memphis leaders. The state is expected to direct up to $1 million for board operations under already strained financial resources.
Right now, we're about $5,000 less than the average student would receive. So let's just say we're receiving about $12,000. Maybe the average student will receive about $18,000. Now, what does that look like in the classroom? How does that affect the classroom? It affects teacher funding. It affects updated resources like textbooks.
And as Tennessee's education leaders continue to debate what this board will do in practice, the willingness of each body to work together remains to be seen. If the governor signs this bill, those 9 members are expected to be in place by July 1st. In the studio, I'm Lauren Turman.